Millions, and I mean millions of crickets have been invading the town of Elko to the point where you can't even see the ground anymore. This person was driving, and because the crickets cover the entire road, it sounds like popcorn popping as he's driving over them. Multiple families have woken up to their entire house, porch, and lawn being covered in these crickets, and no matter what they do, they won't go away. Calling an exterminator isn't even an option because the whole town is infested to the point where they keep multiplying faster than they can be removed. And although the crickets are technically harmless to humans, they smell awful, are cannibalistic, and eat all the vegetation in the area. So if you didn't hear, the apocalypse is happening in
Welcome back to the coolest channel on YouTube. You look, man, smash that like button, man. Let's get this video to 20,000 likes. Share this with your friends and your family. Put those notifications on so you can get these videos as soon as they drop. But look, make sure y'all doing your own research, man. And look, if y'all going through tough times, just know we're going through this thing called life together. Let's get it.
Frank, I think a good many of us have the impression that the CIA operates completely undercover, that you're all spooks, as they say, or they used to say out in the Pacific. Do you have a high profile? Or do people know what you do for a living?
Surely. In Saigon, I had various covers. I was a State Department officer. I was a military officer at one time. But everybody I dealt with, agents, journalists, knew that I worked for the CIA. It is the agent who works under very deep cover, under unofficial cover, as a businessman, as a journalist. Now, he's the one who is not identifiable and whom nobody else would identify with the agency.
You briefed the press, did you not, when you were there?
Well, I had several jobs. One of my jobs was that of analyst. I also was an interrogator and indeed briefed the press when we, the CIA, wanted to circulate disinformation on a particular issue. Disinformation is not necessarily a lie. It may be a half-truth. And we would pick out a journalist. I would go do the briefing and hope that he would put the information in print.
What was your percentage of success?
We were pretty successful in planning information of a rather rarefied nature. For instance, if we wanted to get across to the American public that the North Vietnamese were building up their force structure in South Vietnam, I would go to a journalist and advise him that in the past 6 months, X number of North Vietnamese forces had come down the Ho Chi Minh Trail system through southern Laos. Now, there is no way a journalist can check that information. That's data derived from radio intercepts, spy in the sky photography. So either he goes with the information or he doesn't, and ordinarily or usually the journalist would go with it because it looked like some kind of exclusive. And I would say our percentage planning that kind of data was 70 to 80%. There were lots of young reporters who didn't want to deal with the agency because they were very suspicious. Many of them had come out of the anti-war movement in the United States and had a natural disinclination to trust any official agency. Offhand, the names escape me because, again, we weren't interested in going after the reporter for Ramparts magazine. We were interested in targeting those reporters who could get their material in the New York Times, the Los Angeles Times, and so forth. A reporter may rely on a CIA contact, and he becomes vulnerable. In Saigon, if I planted a piece of information with a reporter, I would ordinarily then try to create an environment in which he could not check the information. I would go to the British ambassador and brief him on the disinformation I had just given the reporter. So when the reporter wanted to cross-check what I told him with, say, the British ambassador, New Zealand ambassador, or what have you, he would get false confirmation, the same message coming back at him, and he'd say, aha, I've got proof that Frank Snepp told me the truth, when in fact, what he'd gotten was simply an echo of what I'd given him in the first place, via the British ambassador or other of our friendly diplomatic contacts.
Frank, A two-part question. What were the objectives of or what was the objective of the CIA? What about the moral implications of what you were doing in feeding this information? Did the objective override the moral implications, moral problems?
Well, the objective of the agency in general is to generate intelligence and get it back to Washington, to get at the truth and make sure the policymakers understand it. When you plant disinformation, you are diverging from that objective, and I think probably in retrospect it was very counterproductive. I am, as an ex-CIA agent, opposed to the disinformation activities in which I was involved. I admit that I was involved, and I think it served no useful purpose. Propagandizing the American public or Congress is not the CIA's job.
People should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people.
Ours was the first revolution in the history of mankind that truly reversed the course of government, and with three little words: we the people. We the people tell the government what to do. It doesn't tell us. We the people are the driver. The government is the car, and we decide where it should go and by what route and how fast. Almost all the world's constitutions are documents in which governments tell the people what their privileges are. Our Constitution is a document in which we, the people, tell the government what it is allowed to do. We, the people, are free.
It's time to remember that we, the people, are the government. You and I. Not some force in a distant capital. Not some powerful force that we have no control over. It's us. It's we, the people.
We're developing, through technology, an ability for consumers to measure their own carbon footprint. What does that mean? That's, where are they traveling? How are they traveling? What are they eating? What are they consuming on the platform? So, individual carbon footprint tracker.
Violence. I think that, it's more or less because...
What did he just say?
Wow.
Individual carbon footprint tracker.
What the fuck just happened?
Interview's over. Shut it off.
No,
shut it off.
Get the fuck out of here, Daryl.
I am Marshall's publicist, and I'm telling you to pull a fucking plug right now.
This is gold. I'm not cutting this interview off. This is the best interview we've ever done.
I'm about to do this.
Hey,
genetic.
Hey, that crazy boy, they get old and start just messing up their lines, huh? Just coming all out of character. But look, whatever, man. Let's keep our composure. Let's go, man. I don't want y'all missing nothing.
DNA evidence of children's teeth in the food, in the burgers, which linked it back to, not Wisconsin, Missouri or Wyoming, one of those states that's in the middle of nowhere, where they actually found human meat inside one of the processing plants at McDonald's. And they said, we're not sure how it's happened. Maybe somebody fell in there, but they haven't reported it. But between McDonald's closing, the reports of the Japanese McDonald's try to pass the buck, try to blame it on the Americans, saying, we got the food from the USA. It didn't come from here. And then they said, oh, you know what? That's probably somebody playing a prank. But they're closing a lot of branches down at McDonald's. And McDonald's traditionally, Nick, in the last 40, 50 years has been one of the safest franchises you could buy. Because what they do is they do a very, very detailed demographic study of where you're going to put these McDonald's, about the income of the people, where they are, the population. They don't just put them randomly. They're very, very specific about where they are. So human meat in the McDonald's food, including children's teeth that have been ground up and put in there. Very disturbing.
Why?
But why? It's where they hide the bodies. That's what they're saying. You know how many children disappear every year? Where are they going to hide? Say there's 250,000 children disappear in America every year. Where are all the bodies?
Pay attention. And TikTok, this for entertainment purposes only.
Well, you may want to leave the room if you're getting ready for a late night snack. Arbys is apologizing to a Jackson teenager after he found something unexpected in his roast beef sandwich, a piece of a finger.
After finding a finger in the food, they only want to apologize to the teen F the millions of customers.
Finger?
Apparently 10 years ago, Arbys was sued because A human finger was found in a kid's sandwich. This poor young fellow
fucking
was
finger?
aggressively chewing. What was a finger instead of gristle? And what did Arbys have to say about this?
An employee cut it off on a meat slicer last week and he didn't tell anyone.
Funny because human flesh was found in the food before. What's even stranger is that the same thing was said. A worker cut his hand and didn't tell no one.
I ain't even gonna let that keep going. Like, that's cap. You ain't cut that thing off and just ain't say, I don't want to say no, I don't want to get fired. Ain't no way. We ain't believing that today, are we? Look, man, we got to have another meeting, man, because we know how people is. Look, man, that's just one of those things, man. They just tell you anything and want you to believe it. But come on, now. I ain't buying that one. I ain't saying it is what it might be, but I'm saying that it ain't that. Y'all decide for yourself.
And I guess that's what happened at TGI Fridays, when someone was served a human finger for dinner.
It's crazy. That's crazy.
I mean, it kind of
That's
makes
crazy.
sense on how are they producing so much meat for cheap? How can you still buy dollar burgers and dollar chicken sandwiches? And that is the reason why I choose to eat at home. And you know, when you a cannibal, do something to your ticker up here. It's probably why a lot of people walking around and their ticker is ticking. I'm just saying, if they dropped that, and that was all the way back in 2010, I can just imagine what they're doing today. And once again, everything I just said, entertainment. Was y'all entertained? Let me know what y'all think about human fingers being in burgers in the comments. Follow me for more wisdom and stay tuned.
If someone served you human, you obviously wouldn't eat it, correct? You would think, but I'm here to tell you that if you've ever eaten a hot dog, you are a cannibal. Clear Labs examined 345 hot dogs to find that roughly 2% of them contained human DNA, with 2/3 of that human DNA being in vegetarian hot dogs. Share this video with a vegan because they're not excluded.
Hey, ain't that messed up though? Like when you think you like, I'm gonna try to just do better. And these niggas just slide some human meat in on you. Oh yeah, you ain't want to eat that beef? All right, bet we got some human for your ass then. Like, ain't that's terrible. And that's a thing though. Like that's like under the level of like requirement. That's crazy that's a thing. Just like all the cockroaches and bugs that get into the food, and it's a certain level that can be in there. Wow, I love this place. This is beautiful.
From this. Clear Labs actually found a black bean burger which did not have any black beans in it. And it's not just hot dogs. We know hot dogs are nasty. This lab also examined hundreds of burgers from Northern California to find rat and human DNA everywhere. Ground beef, chicken nuggets, and taco filling must include 35% actual meat and 65% filler. This is directly from the FDA. More than half of the meat in ground meat can be made up of chemicals, cornstarch, water, soy, silicon dioxide, food coloring, really whatever they want if they're getting away with human DNA. Now, most of this human DNA comes from hair, right? Loose hair is going to get in the food. It's almost inevitable. In fact, they actually are fully aware of this, and they allow certain amounts of human hair in food. But that's not always the case. This Canadian farm, the owner actually disposed of a body within the food chain. He was charged with 15 accounts of homicide and would actually hide their bodies in with the ground meat. Where the heck's the rest of her body? This is vile. When you're dealing with this much volume in any given day, it's gotta be very easy to just throw a leg in here, an arm in here, and then it just gets dismembered and put with all the normal ground meat. Once you're dealing with giant vats of stuff, I guess it gets pretty difficult to determine what's human and what's not. Let me know, are you ever gonna eat ground meat again?
Wow, that just ruined a lot of people's day, didn't it? But it's beautiful too at the same time, you know. I don't know, stuff like that. And then when you look into it, it makes me, you know, you eat less of the BS that you want to indulge in. It helps me, like, with this, like, I don't just watch stuff like this and research it and then find out that certain things are true, like the plastics that's in food and, you know, human meat that's in food. Like, it makes you, like, you know, want to do better, right? If it don't, then look, man, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Look, you just a cannibal, dude. It's okay. let me know that you eat people, man, so I can know where to put you at on a friend chain. You know what I'm saying? Like these millionaires is bunkering though. Like, look at this. I ain't gonna hold you though. They thought of everything but a shower though. Like, where the stuff at? I don't even need all that. Just give me a hole with a straw. At least I can, you know. Something that's what most of us can afford anyway. Just dig me a hole, give me a straw, so I can breathe a little bit. Look at this. Yo, it's chocolate, yo. It's chocolate. But why though? But why fantasize this? Let y'all just figure that out in the comments down below.
It took me 20 years to realize something creepy about Shrek. We know Fiona has lived in the tower for more than 20 years. But wait. How did she survive for so long with no food? Well, check out this scene to understand. At the beginning of the movie, Shrek says ogres loves human soups. And then we see a recipe book of humans and a pot near Fiona's room. Does it mean Fiona is a cannibal?
When I was a kid, I used to see these trails in the sky. And then you started to see a whole bunch of them. And next thing you know, everybody in your neighborhood was fighting and arguing and you didn't know why. Okay, and you really didn't know why. I mean, everybody was fighting. So
Hey, go watch Blue Book on Amazon Prime, right? They got it in there. They was talking about, they gave a episode dedicated to them doing the chemtrails and stuff like that, and what it was doing to the soldiers. And it's crazy. It was an experiment, but look into it.
Very clear. I will not continue to fund a government at war with the American people. We are here to change it. It is time to end it, and I'm proud to stand with these patriots to do that. Colleagues here and friends who are representing people from across this country who are fed up. They're fed up of a government that's out of control. And here's the thing. Our founding fathers, in creating this country, created separation of powers. It is incumbent upon those of us with election certificates, particularly in the House of Representatives, but also the Senate, to stand up at this end of Pennsylvania Avenue and hold the other end of Pennsylvania Avenue and the executive branch accountable. A president and an executive branch that is out of control. My question for my colleagues, particularly my Republican colleagues, is when is it enough? When is it enough to stand up and do what you campaign to do and use the power of the purse to stop this administration from trampling the American people? Spending is out of control. The federal government will spend $2 trillion more than it takes in this year to...
Nah, they just want to keep giving it to Ukraine for some little strange reason, right? Meanwhile, you know, we got people living on the streets, struggling, no place to stay. We got all these immigrants here that's, you know, that's going to be taking over the lower class, quote unquote, jobs and stuff like that. So even the people at the bottom, they're going to have competition with people that will be willing to do anything to work for money because they don't know no better with the wages. But that's just crazy.
Why the hell does the city need military jets? You're turning around. They just told everyone to go back to the team. They're coming! Kingsville Elementary! The fallout shelter out back! Try to look it safe.
Safer than that. Come on! Here we go, guys. Where is it? Where's the door?
There! They're coming! Hurry! Ray, hurry!
Let's go, come on.
Sitting in the middle of X Point, the largest survival community in the world, with 575 bunkers spread over 18 square miles of land. Effectively, we're building a city. It's 3/4 the size of Manhattan. You know, the government knows a lot that they don't tell us. I think they do know something. They've built deep underground bunkers across America and Europe and Russia and China in preparation for something that they know is going to come. But have they told us about it? No. And why? Because the government can't tell you about a problem that they don't have a solution for or that they can't provide. And doing so would create total social, economic collapse. It's anarchy. And that's what you want to worry about. We're sitting.
Opening your mind up, preparing people to get ready for what's about to happen. Prepare for a change in the economy and the way you live in, your lifestyle, how you spend, what you drink. Prepare for all that to be controlled. You know, prepare for all that to be controlled. Prepare for the music and everything you like to be forced on you. Hence now, the music you're hearing might sound like garbage to you because it's forced on you. You get what I'm saying? Prepare for you to be told to when you go to the grocery store or when you get your hair cut, what time you leave your house, where your kids going, what they gotta read. Prepare for all that shit. Aliens versus humans. It's all about this, just to enlighten you so you can have some fun, just get you comfortable with it while they got these movies out, expect movies out, showing y'all this boom, blowing shit up and kill the aliens. But what if they are our enemy and the people on this planet is our enemy? And they coming to help us out because the people trying to destroy the earth. Now, if you had power over all these countries, why do you still have to fight? Maybe they trying to destroy this motherfucker before they go somewhere. Maybe their time is up. Maybe they gotta go underground. Maybe it's finna get hot and they can't take it. People wake up. The aliens or extraterrestrials ain't our enemy. We our enemy. They only come to prevent what's been going on to this beautiful planet that the inhabitants have did. That the so-called, what they call themselves, the so-called Illuminati or the white race or what they call themselves, the superior race, supposed to have, but the superior race is fucking up shit. You can't be superior and civilized killing folks.
That look like it's coming from the top of the mountain, don't it? That joint look wicked.
In Nevada right now. Millions, and I mean millions, of crickets have been invading the town of Elko to the point where you can't even see the ground anymore. This person was driving, and because the crickets cover the entire road, it sounds like popcorn popping as he's driving over them. Multiple families have woken up to their entire house, porch, and lawn being covered in these crickets, and no matter what they do, they won't go away. Calling an exterminator isn't even an option because the whole town is infested to the point where they keep multiplying faster than they can be removed. And although the crickets are technically harmless to humans, they smell awful, are cannibalistic, and eat all the vegetation in the area. So if you didn't hear, the apocalypse is happening in the...
Ong.
Hey, and look, real talk, use this opportunity to see like what's not being like shown to you. Like, you know, they would rather push other narratives that we don't even need to be concerned with. They'd rather push, you know, bullshit, I should say, instead of like real stuff like this. We don't. That's why they want TikTok to be shut down so bad though, because we can share information. It's not nothing to do with protecting the people. It has nothing to do with that. We already know we the people don't mean us. We just went over that, didn't we? So it is what it is, man. It's crazy. But what these look like though, it looked like some stuff I read in a book. Maybe y'all need to go read that book. You know, it's crazy.
Did you know that there is an asteroid heading straight for Earth? Scientists have recently spotted an asteroid named 2023 DW, and it's one they're keeping a close eye on. 2023 DW is estimated to be 50 meters in diameter and has a chance of making contact with Earth on February 14th, 2046. Before we all freak out and start building underground bunkers, NASA has rated the likeliness of 2023 DW actually hitting Earth to be a 1 in 625 chance. The asteroid ranks a 1 on the Torino scale, a tool scientists use to categorize potential hazards brought on by near-Earth objects. Out of 10 possible rankings, the 2023 DW has an extremely low threat to humanity and does not pose any real threats to civilization.
I ain't gonna hold you. I kind of hope that like something like that do hit the Earth though. You know why though? We got an opportunity for something though. You know, all the school shooters and all these like psychopaths and stuff that, you know what I'm saying? They just sitting there rotting away. Look, this is what we can do. If one of those come hit the Earth, we can give all the bad people, you feel me? Like them 10% that be messing up every demographic. Look, we can get them and we can just give them the coordinates and all, like ship them all there to the coordinates where the asteroid is gonna hit. You feel me? Y'all get the energy? All right, bet. Let's get back to it, though. You feel me? And well, I think it'll be a lot better place. No?
Making an
like
electric generator. Faraday's law says it.
Nah, I'm just saying so they can like be at the bottom. They gonna catch it. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's a lot of people, they can all catch it at the same time and stop that from, you know, putting it in the Earth. Dang, what y'all talking about?
Changing magnetic field induces a current through a conductor. The faster the magnetic field changes, the greater the induced current. When I quickly move the magnet near the coil, we see an AC voltage is created. This old ceiling fan has nice coils. Let's fill the part that spins around the coil with magnets. We now have an AC generator.
That's so dope.
This circuit will convert the AC into DC.
Look, you know how player that is, homies, for y'all to be watching this right now, though. This is an opportunity to learn something and be something. You feel me? Look, if the power do go out, if the power might be out where you at right now, you know, due to certain circumstances, you can make one of these, bro. You'll be the most heroic dude she ever seen in her life. You give her some inspiration. Like, damn, he is a little bit smart. He is a little bit handy. She might, you know what I'm saying? She gonna be looking at you different. Women fall in love with you, man. So look, this is an opportunity for y'all to step up and be men. If some shit was to happen, I know how to make a battery. I know how to, you know, clean water. I know how to do this. We never know where life is going. Just have some type of life skills. That's all I'm saying.
Now my restless energy can charge a battery.
While everybody else is sitting in the dark, shit like, shit, my man know how to turn the lights on. You feel me? Like, give her something to brag about.
I would make a windmill, but there's no wind where I live.
Like, look at this. Run on water. And it ain't like you can't say that, oh, I ain't got the parts for this. It ain't no excuse for y'all not to have no electricity now. Look, I'm just trying to put y'all on.
What can we find in a McNugget under the microscope? I will show you a before and after polarization image. By using polarized light, we can highlight fibers, plastics, and other hidden materials. Almost everything you see lit up here could potentially be a microplastic or fiber of some sort. It was surprising to see the quantity of these in a small part of the nugget. I bought 40 of these.
We so particled up, microplastic
Welcome
up.
back to the series, Things I Didn't Know Were Bad for My Health Until I Went to Medical School, Part 2. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dr. Ariola. I'm a licensed naturopathic doctor and I specialize in all things digestive health. And today's topic is going to be all about plastic. So I think on some level, I did know that plastic was not good for my health, but I didn't really get why. I remember thinking, I'm not eating the plastic, so what does it matter what my food is in or what my water is in? Little did I know the way that I was consuming it, I actually was eating plastic. When we use plastic containers to store food, or if we purchase water bottles that are stored in plastic containers, then we increase the risk of microplastics actually leaching into whatever we're consuming. And the reason that this is a big deal is because plastics contain chemicals like BPA and phthalates, which are actually known as endocrine disruptors. Endocrine disruptors actually mimic hormone activity in our body, so it can cause disruption to our hormones. And excessive microplastic consumption is actually one of the root causes for things like PCOS or estrogen dominance. What's more is that these chemicals can actually accumulate in our liver, leading to liver damage and inflammation over time. Now, thankfully, more people and companies are shifting to be more environmentally friendly and using less plastic. But one of the biggest shifts you can make is to use a reusable water bottle that's either made of glass or stainless steel, and to get rid of plastic containers, especially if you're heating up food in them, switch over to something like glass. And thirdly, if you have the ability, try not to buy those disposable water bottles, ones like these, just because the way that these are stored prior to them getting to the store really increases the risk of the plastic leaching into the water. Oftentimes they're left out in the sun, which is what causes that. If you found this video helpful, make sure to stick around more for the series of things that I did not know were bad for my health until I went to medical school.
Guys, these plastic cutting boards are absolutely killing you. They're killing your fertility. You don't want to use this. Let me show you a way better option. When you chop up food on this, it has plastics that are getting into your food, and we know that BPA is a really bad thing for your male reproductive system. Evidenced by this paper right here, it is absolutely killing your male fertility. You don't want to be using this. And the better option is right here. Get a wood cutting board, guys. It's so simple to do. Just buy a wood cutting board so you're not getting more microplastics in your food. Plastic is already really hard to completely avoid in today's society. Why would you purposely add more plastic to your food? Use wood.
Hey, you know it's crazy though, for all my military people. Look, have you ever been on a deployment? If you've ever been on a deployment, or you got a loved one that's ever been on a deployment, you know, to the Middle East. Now they put the water on these big old pallets, and they sit outside, and we gotta grab our own crates and bring them in, right? They sit out there in the sun. It'd be like 120 degrees. And when you get your water, you know what I'm saying, if you got to restock in your room, you just go outside, like I said, and grab one at any time. Boom. It's like a 15 pack or something like that, 20 pack. But the water sometimes used to be like, it used to taste heavy. It used to taste like milk, kind of like it had a flavor to it. So, you know what I'm saying, that came from, you know, whatever was happening inside of the bottles and that extreme heat that it was in. So I can see us pretty much, man, in the future getting a you know how them lawsuits will come out every once in a while and be like, hey, you know, you get this percentage because you were shooting at the range and your ears you had these ear protectors on that wasn't good enough. Y'all know that. We got that little lawsuit going on too. That's crazy for veterans. But at the same time, I see that microplastic thing being a huge deal for a lot of people because it was out there for like, what, 6 months to a year sometimes. And you was drinking that water the whole time. It's crazy.
But I ain't a part of it no more. But I don't really want to talk about that because I used to be a part of that type shit. But I don't do it no more.
What
yeah,
you
I used
mean?
to. No, I used to be something. I ain't that no more. Yeah.
Like what? Connected? What you talking
Yeah,
about?
I was connected with everybody that's doing it. The type, I don't really want to speak on that because like he probably get a little nervous. I'm talking about the people. But I was connected. Yeah. Keep dropping my money. I get nervous when I talk about it because my life be on the line. But I don't be giving. I was connected with the Illuminati.
Oh my The Illuminati.
Yes, I swear to God, my mama.
So the Illuminati is real.
Yes, it's real.
What you mean you used to be connected? I don't think you could leave the Illuminati.
Listen, I'm the first person to leave. I made the ultimate sacrifice. And I got out the Illuminati. So I'm the first person that can speak about it. Yeah, I sacrificed my son.
Your son?
Yeah, I swear to God, my mama. See, looking at me, he can't speak on that. He laughing, but he really know what's going on. See, he don't want to speak on that. I'm keeping it. So that's how I got out. So I'm half Illuminati and half street. Yeah.
Wait.
I'm half Illuminati.
Dead ass.
Dead ass here. No,
Sean, you knew about this?
Well, what the fuck y'all talking about? He can't talk about it. See, I'm half, so I can talk about it. Because he got 29 times platinum. 29 times. And he be in St. Louis, walk around like it ain't nothing. And I don't never talk to him. I don't even know where he be at. Like, when he was coming here, all of a sudden he just popped up. So I'm like, what the fuck did he just here? So you don't never know too much about that. So we don't want to speak on that. We can't speak on that too much. Yeah.
Why'd you leave the Illuminati then?
Because I wrote country grammar, first of all.
Wait, Nelly.
Yeah. Yes, I wrote
country grammar.
He laughing. He think it's a joke.
The Diamond Song.
I swear to God, my mom, I wrote country grammar. I swear to God, mom, I wrote it. Listen, I wrote it for Ali, right? Me and Ali, we was locked in. Come on, bro. Listen, see, he laughed and tried to make it feel like I'm lying, but I'm telling the truth. Listen, I wrote it for Ali, right? So me and Ali, we was a group. You know what I'm saying? We was just called the Ticks. It wasn't the Lunatics yet. We was just the Ticks. It was me and Ali, it was just two of us. So we was the Ticks. And we kept on trying to rap my raps, but they weren't coming out sounding right. The fuck? And Mo had a better voice. When I say Mo, I'm talking about Nelly. Y'all probably don't know him like that, but I know him, so I call him Mo. So he said he know Mo. I'm like, shit, Mo light skin and shit. He like, but he gonna make it happen. I'm like, all right, fuck it. So he know Jermaine Dupri. So I'm gonna ask Jermaine Dupri right now. I'm like, shit, so the first meeting I was there. But I'm like, damn, I had the mask on. And that's how Slow Down came with the mask. They told me I'm street. I'm half Illuminati and half street. So at that time, I couldn't be seen, so I had to have my mask on. And that's why Slow Down put the mask on for me, because they was trolling me. Because they sacrificed me and sent me and City Spud to the penitentiary. Yeah, that's what I got on. They sacrificed me.
True story.
True story. Right, they can look it up.
Them niggas were locked up.
We was at the same time. We was in Boonville. I was still writing then. I was right, but they didn't want me to show myself. I swear to God, it ain't funny.
I know, but y'all was locked up together for real. So I was like, damn, hold on, he might be.
Yeah. They didn't want me to show myself.
Why wasn't they shouting you out? They was saying Free City Spud in every song, man.
I was sacrificed. I was the ultimate sacrifice. I was really the one writing it. Like, I wrote country grammar. I named it and everything. So I wrote it, but I wrote it for Ali. We was the Ticks, not the Lunatics. So when Ali come up saying he wrote it, he's speaking facts. But I wrote it. So Ali know this. Like, you call Ali right now, ask him, he gonna get kind of weird, but he don't have to play with me. He know me. He ain't gonna play with me. He gonna get on to play with Nelly. But you know, nobody play with me. So he not play with me. He gonna say, yeah, Unc wrote that. If you ask him, get him on here. But maybe he can't speak about that. I don't know. You gotta get him and ask him. But I don't know. He ain't popping no more. You don't even probably want to talk to him. Cause I don't know. You might want to talk to him. You might get 5 views. I don't know.
Yeah. Yo, do y'all believe him? Do y'all believe him? Look, my man was. He was so convincing. Like he really believed that shit. Do y'all believe it? Let me know in the comments down below.
A California mother lost all 4 limbs after eating tilapia contaminated with deadly bacteria. Let me explain. In July, 40-year-old Laura Barajas bought the fish at a market in San Jose before bringing it home, where she ate it, although it was undercooked. A day later, Barajas was diagnosed with Vibrio vulnificus. After spending over a month in the hospital, she was amputated on Wednesday, September 13th. Vibrio can cause sepsis, fever, low blood pressure, and blisters, and the symptoms can quickly get worse. People usually contract it from eating uncooked or undercooked shellfish, or from entering water with open wounds. 100 to 200 cases are detected per year, according to the Cleveland Clinic. Vibrio thrives in warmer water, and usually people contract the bacteria in the summer. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention issued a health advisory on September 1st that Vibrio vulnificus infections could increase due to rising water temperatures linked to climate change. The most common cause of Vibrio infections is eating undercooked or raw oysters and shellfish, which the CDC recommends not to eat. It is especially dangerous for people who are immunocompromised.
But damn, you know what I'm saying? Undercooked. Like, ain't that wild? Undercooked seafood, and she lost all her limbs. That ain't it right there. Look, we got to get one step closer as a community, you know, coming closer to, like, becoming breatharians, people. How that sound, y'all? Sound like a plan to y'all? You know what I'm saying? Get this, just practice your technique, man. It's coming.
These blue umbrellas from the Hawaii fires are circulating the internet of how they weren't affected by the flames when things around them was burnt. And this video from Laserverse is showing different colors reactions and how blue isn't affected. This is for general purposes only, with some people claiming that blue repels radio frequency, and how blue painted objects didn't burn down, with the Simpsons blue umbrella scene, with conspiracies claiming that it's either aliens or laser devices or Russia who did this allegedly. But the Hawaii Fire Science Program Coordinator at Hawaii Community College made a statement about this and said, "There is no reason the color blue has anything to do with wildland fire behavior. Wildland fires do not burn in a consistent manner, but in a mosaic pattern. The blue umbrellas may have been treated with a substance that prevented embers from igniting them. There were unburned structures surrounded by burned structures. And it was stated by them that the fire started from bare power lines, not laser or aliens targeting us or Russia. But what do you think about this? Is this a coincidence? May all the people that lost their lives in these tragic fires be rest in peace."
No, dog, because look, it wasn't even just that. It was cars, too. You seen the car, too. So, look, I mean, it is what it is. Y'all, I mean, believe what you want. That's crazy. Yeah, shit. Yo, y'all notice what that is? That's crazy, right in front of our faces, though. Look, a lot of people. How many of y'all still believe that you know what I'm saying? Tupac and everybody is alive, and that they're on the island, bro? It's like at this point, like, do you believe that, or are they taunting you with that type of commercial because they know people are still in love with those characters? But look, on the flip side, are these characters like quote unquote immortals that like jump to body and they manifest every so often and come into the public, you know what I'm saying, and become like an icon and disappear to a small island and keep doing it over and over again, jump into different bodies? That'd be wild though. But look, cause somebody pitched that before, and I was like, okay, just something to think about. Let me know how y'all feel in the comments down below. Are they still alive, or is it just something that people just can't let go? Real talk, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it is what it is. They wanted to be away, if so.
This is beautiful New York in 1910, and you're going to see again what I showed you in previous videos, a scene playing out. just take a look at the people in the backgrounds. This isn't the first time they've seen the camera type of style. Look at this guy walking, makes eye contact, start walking straight, and now he's gonna make a whole beeline turn back around. What are any of these people actually doing? They're standing out in the middle of a busy street, staring off into space. Guy almost gets hit by a car with a cheesy sign on the back of it. You know, it's a slapped together wooden sign. Built these beautiful buildings, ran out of material for that. And here we go again. Look at little fruit stand guy coming up. Here to see when the camera cuts away. Action. Oh, look, there he goes, turns around, realizes the camera started filming. And now watch, same fruit stand guy. He's going to start ushering the whole crowd over to the right here. Has to keep the scene moving. Look, he's even got a nice little stick. Watch him, watch him. Like a conductor. And the whole crowd just magically slides over to the right. It's so nice that in such a dusty, dirty setting, everybody went to the dry cleaner. Even the little street vagrants. This was a very new people to a very big city. And they were trying to play their part for the camera. Yet they couldn't stop standing around in the middle of the street. Now I grew up in the Chicagoland area. That's not how people act. And if you look at all of them, they have nowhere to go. They are just there to play the scene. It's like when the boss surprisingly stops in. Everybody has to get up and act like they're being busy, being productive. But really nothing's actually going on here. The city of foundlings in the Big Apple. Question everything, friends. Until next time.
Woo! Hey, that was a whole vibe right there. But look, crazy, 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 man. A lot to digest. Make sure y'all all out here doing your own research. Don't believe nothing that you see in these videos. But look, you know, just very thought-provoking. You know, we got a lot to put in perspective. We got a lot to communicate about as a community. You know what I'm saying? As one. You know, it's about time that we start operating as one. You know what I'm saying? And conduct ourselves as one. But look, man, how do y'all like this video right here, man? Did y'all get the message? You know what I'm saying? What is something that you're gonna take from this video and actually implement into your real life? That's what I want to know in the comments down below. What are you gonna implement something positive and implement that into your life, as far as like reading, learning something new, you know what I'm saying, getting outside of your comfort zone, you know what I'm saying, traveling, you know what I'm saying, seeing things you never seen before, trying things you never tried before, just experiencing life as a person. But look, man, I'll see you on the next video. And like I always say, spread love, because there's too much hate in this world. Love you guys. See you in the next video. And I'm out though. Blah.